everything. Good. Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday morning, October 22nd, 2019, and I'm headed into work for the day. I got a few minutes. So yesterday, we're getting rid of a bunch of Cisco equipment at work, and it's all end of life, decommissioned stuff. It's end of support, end of everything. So it's just for professional use. It's just literally just like junk or garbage. And so I was like, I want to kind of try to play with some of this stuff. Cisco uses something called iOS, which is I think it's just like an integrated operating system. And it's not like Apple's iOS, but uses a command line interface system or setup. And the old stuff basically uses the same interface and programming and all that as the new stuff, so it doesn't really matter. But I was able to score a couple Cisco AeroNet 1300 access points. So they're wireless access points, and I wanted to see if I can get them up and running. So I mentioned it yesterday, but when I set up my new network at home, I really wanted to kind of do the same at work. And the issue that I was running into is I don't have or want to spend another $200 to do that at work. So I was like, oh man, if I could like cobble something together with all this free hardware, like it'd be badass. So so what I did was I brought one of them home, and I was playing with it last night, and I found out that it was the L model, or the lightweight model. So basically, from what I've learned, is the lightweight AeroNet 1300 models are kind of dumb, and they boot up and they get all of their smarts from a wireless access controller, or wireless, what is it called? Wireless LAN controller or something like that. So you can't set any of the SSID stuff. You can't, I don't even know if you can turn the radios on and off and all that. So it basically boots up, gets on the network, gets an IP, and looks for the wireless access or wireless LAN controller. So what I found out is if I could get a different firmware version for these models, I could change it and make it so it's no longer a lightweight access point, but I can turn it into an autonomous access point. So all of the user manuals and all that stuff talk about being able to configure these access points through a web interface, or web GUI, graphical user interface. So basically you would just take the IP address that the unit acquires, plug it into a browser as long as you're in the same subnet, and it should automatically load up a web interface, and you can log in and do everything from there. These lightweight models don't have any of that installed at all. It's not even like hidden or anything. So like I said, I'd have to flash an entire different firmware version. Now, that's already a pain in the ass, but Cisco has all the files and stuff on their website. But you have to not only log in to be able to download, you have to have some sort of like service agreement or something. And I don't know if that's for any products or for specific products that like it'll unlock those downloads. So like if I had a service agreement for these AeroNets, then I would be able to download any files associated with them. And I spent maybe 30-45 minutes frantically searching the internet and could not find a damn copy of this needed firmware files anywhere. Like I said, it's only on Cisco's website, and I find that really, really hard to believe. I can't believe no one has cloned Cisco's website and provided all their files kind of bootleg version. Really weird. So I'm kind of dead in the water until I can get a different firmware version. There was, I mean, these access points, they've been selling them for like 7 years or something like that. And I found an old web page that had a link to a direct download that was hosted on some like college EDU website or something, and along with tutorials on how to flash it and all that. But it was the link was dead. The website was dead. It was so old. So I'm sitting here kind of trying to figure out what to do. You know, I was trying to figure out why my buddy Luke moved away from using Cisco WAPs. He switched over to all these cheap-ass Ubiquity things that kind of suck ass. You know, these Cisco units, they mesh, they do everything. PoE and all that. And they're actual PoE, so they're probably stronger, to be honest. They're like 48-volt PoE versus some of these other ones are like passive PoE and shit. But I'm wondering if this is why he got away from it. So I need to talk to him about this stuff and see what he has to say. But it's frustrating, you know. I mean, I just wanted to kind of get this up and running. I guess it makes sense. They probably designed it and made it this way so that way people can't rip them off the wall, bring them home, and use them. They're very dumb, basically. So I do have some of these wireless access controller things. I got, I think, 3 of them. I'm going to have to play with those and see how that works. I don't know if this is a licensing thing. I don't know how any of this works. But I had 3 of them, but I couldn't find any power adapters for them. It uses 48 volts, like, I don't know, 260 milliamp. But it's like a male and female, like it's a different type of connector. It's not a barrel connector for the power plug. And I couldn't find any of that, so I don't know if they threw those out so people couldn't use them or something at work. I don't know. But I did find one for 20 bucks used on eBay. So this will be a $20 investment to learn some new stuff and try it out. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, then it was only 20 bucks. So that's kind of what I've been working on and stuff. I mean, it's, you know, I'm so close to figuring it out too. It just drives me crazy. But I'll keep looking for that file too, man, because if I can find that file, I guess that removes the need for this wireless access controller thing, or wireless LAN controller, whatever it's called. But I don't know if I can find it. I'll ask Luke if he has access to downloading files and stuff. But I'm wondering if they unlock it based on, like, per item. Like I said, like, if you own an agreement or own those products legit bought from Cisco or a vendor, then they'll give you the ability to access those files, not all their files. But I don't know. I'll talk to Luke and see what he has to say. So at work today, I gotta work on cabling some new hardware. We got Flash 900 IBM SAN unit. It's for SAN storage. I'm not exactly sure what it is. Work on that, cable that up, and then I need to start coming up with a list of all of the connections needed and stuff for everything. This is for the SAN project I was talking about. Last night I rendered almost, I think it was 15 daily vlogs, so that's cool. Tonight Nikki's coming over. We're gonna carve a pumpkin finally. Kind of excited for that. I don't like doing it, but it's just fun doing it with Grant and stuff, you know. It's kind of like one of those things. And then I don't know what we're gonna do for dinner. I'm gonna try to make some chicken, but it was frozen, so I pulled it out last night. You got just a lot of small stuff to catch up on. I got this app. I might have talked about it, but Kayla turned me onto this or told me about this. It's called Forest, and it's for iOS and Android. But it's an app on your phone where you can like grow digital trees, and you can set timers. I think you can do anywhere from 10 minutes all the way up to 2 hours max. And while your tree is growing, you can't use your phone for anything other than like making and receiving calls. So it gets you more focused in stuff. So you spend more time doing everything other than playing on your phone. And anyone that's crazy about their phone knows how important that is, or how crazy that concept is, because how easy is it to be like, oh, I got 1 minute free time, let me go on my phone real quick and check stuff, and then 30 minutes goes by or an hour goes by. Like, that's how I get. So this thing, I can set a tree to grow, and then check on it later or whatever, and then it frees me up. So it's kind of a tool for removing stress as well, so it's kind of nice. Last night, Grant and I started watching Descendants 1. I told him I'd never seen them before, and I forgot that I watched some of them over at Rochelle's house probably 2 years ago or something. And it's a pretty cool movie. It's kind of like a Disney movie. I don't know if it's Disney or not, but it's that type of movie. And it's a musical where they sing and stuff. But then it's all of the kids and the offspring of all of the princes and witches and the evil people and the queens and all that stuff from all the old songs, all the old movies and stuff. Alright, gotta give Nikki a call. Stay tuned for more. Alright, so in continuation of what I was talking about, so I found some more stuff. This is another access point, and this is the AirCap 3702, and this is a lightweight one as well, which means that this one in particular, I think you can't even flash it. I think it only works with controllers. So here's what I was able to find. Cisco 2100 series wireless LAN controller, and this is an 8-port. This is the 2106 model. So it has 8 ports total. Ports 7 and 8 on the left hand side support PoE, and there's a console port and 2 USB ports. But you can see here, this is the power connector that it requires. So I did order a power cable. I think it's supposed to arrive Friday for this, and I'm hoping that I should be able to dive into this, and then this will talk with the access points. I don't know too much about it. There's a couple indicators. There's power, status, alarm, and AP. AP, from my understanding, is as soon as an access point shakes hands with this thing, then it lights up AP. But I don't know. This is a very interesting setup, we'll say that. I guess it makes it so you can configure just this thing, and then you could have 1,000 access points plugged into this, and it would just automatically go out and configure them all, I guess. And you could probably handle firmware versions on each unit, SSIDs, and all of that. You can sync them. Now, my big concern is radius servers. So I'm not sure. I've never used a radius server before, but I know some of this requires that or something. So also the other model, not this one, but the 1130. I did find they have them on sale used on eBay for like $15. And I did find they do have them for $15 that are the autonomous ones. So they're supposed to have the autonomous firmware. If I can get one of those, supposedly I can pull a copy of the autonomous firmware off of it and then use that copy to flash other units. That's the thought behind it. So we'll see. This is becoming a little bit of a project, but it's something fun to do, I suppose. But you know, so I've spent $20 on a power cable for one of these, and then I put in a bid, $12.50 for the autonomous WAP, and otherwise I'll just buy, you know, choose to buy it instead of whatever for 15, and then I should be able to use two different types of WAPs then. So this should allow me to use the light versions, and then the autonomous one should allow me to use the WAP without needing a controller at all. So that's the thought behind it. I haven't really got much done today, so I need to get some cabling done. So yeah, stay tuned for more. Alright, what time is it, guys?
Pumpkin carving time! Yay!
6:06.
Alright, we're getting set up here. And we got 3.5 pumpkins.
What?
3.5?
Yeah.
We're not carving those.
We're not?
All right, he's gonna butcher the first one.
Okay.
What's in mine?
Time to butcher that pumpkin. Is that knife gonna work? You might need something stronger than that.
Yeah. Let's see what we got over here.
Let's see what we got over here.
Mine.
Yep, we're cutting the Grant pumpkin first, the Grantkin. And then we got the Bobkin and the Nickykin. That's definitely a little bit better. You haven't done this in a while, have you?
I usually use the little tools they give you, but...
Oh, we didn't buy any of those. We probably should have. Jewel probably sold them.
I thought a real knife would work better. Maybe I was wrong on that. I don't know.
You are wrong on that because those other little knives work much better on the pumpkins. Although we used our Ginsu when we used to do it, and it was always amazing. Here we go. Careful.
Yep.
We don't need any. This is the part that Nikki never does because she will stab herself.
I need to do it at a bit of an angle so it doesn't fall in there. Okay.
Yep. We got it.
Okay.
Here we go.
Alright.
Ew.
Wait, Cassie?
Alright, hold on.
It's only like...
Well, we keep the top of the pumpkin, but your dad has to cut that piece off too.
Yeah.
You want to get like a big bowl?
Yeah.
We're going to have to clean the seeds out, but...
Yeah, we got the colander.
Who took the seeds out? Who took the seeds out? You.
You.
I don't know. I'm not much for touching these things, so we'll see how it goes. Pumpkin cavity. Yummy. He is now cutting its head off.
Okay.
All right, here we go, folks.
Alright, let's see what
Now
this
we're
is.
getting the brain out.
We're getting all the guts out.
Now we're getting all the brain guts.
Brain guts. Sophie's helping. She is very anxiously eating her dinner. She's probably barking at us because she said we interrupted her dinner. And she's still hungry. Carve me that pumpkin, she says. I'm just gonna eat.
We need a time lapse for this portion.
Yeah.
Forever.
You can probably time lapse it. Aw. Yeah. This part is definitely not my favorite part.
I think it's my dad's favorite part.
I don't think he's enjoying it as much as you think he is.
No, not so much. Alright. Would you like to cut the video and then pull up some designs on like your phone or something?
Clothes on? Can I have one of those for my...
Yeah, clothespin for your nose. Alright, we got the first pumpkin cleared out. She's working on seeds, and I'm gonna work on pumpkin number 2 if that's okay.
Yep. We need
What do you need, babe?
So gross. Oh, it's just so gross. I haven't done this in so many years. Oh, it's like snot. Whoa, this one's kind of nice. It's got lots of good stuff in it. A little easier to access these guys. Easy access.
This one I think has more than the bigger one had.
This has better seeds in it. Some of these seeds are kind of cruddy.
Yeah.
They're like weird shaped and stuff, but this is like amazing. Oh, watch out. He's going to throw them at us.
No.
We got some
Where?
Oh, Dad.
Oh. It's okay. You're doing a good job helping. You're being really brave and you're doing new things, and that is awesome.
I have done this before.
Oh, well done. You're good. See?
Won't let me pick them. They're so slimy.
Gopher, are you still eating? Alright, those are kind of scrawny. So
Can you grab that plate? It's like.
kind of. Oh. Oh, it's a big snot. Ew, don't touch me more with it.
What?
You're like putting it all over the top of my hand. Easy there,
What's that?
killer. Grant, nobody can take pictures because we all got goop on our hands.
We're all on video instead.
Oh, did you put the camera up? Hmm.
Those are almost all clean right now.
Yeah, let me just get this little piece off and then yeah.
What's there? You get the
Oh, I haven't had all clean ones, Grant. They have not been all beautiful and clean, let me tell you. Ooh, that's a big old bunch right there. I'm gonna look up some of the recipes and how to bake them.
Yeah, he said he does. His mom does spicy ones, but he doesn't like the spicy.
I don't know what we'll do spicy. We can do something with like a good salt mixture.
Probably just salt.
Yeah. Sea salt makes them really taste good because then it gets like good flavor.
You
But
might have some.
you do because I've used it before when we've cooked. But so and then I wonder like if they're in the squash family, are they a fruit or vegetable? Because they have seeds and they have pulp. So technically that's a fruit. I did this with my kids last year in science and I already forgot.
Yeah, I can never remember those things.
This one's got, that pumpkin's got really good seeds. I'm good.
I wish I could just pull them out. They're not coming out easily. They're all in piles in there.
Yeah, they're grouped together, which is awesome because it's less
It's work.
goop to deal with. I know, Grant, this is the hard part because you gotta wait till we're done, but we're getting, you know, it's gonna happen. So trust me, you don't want this snot on your hands or on your snout. Snot.
on your big.
Shabooty.
Just on the table.
Oh, I'll get it in a minute. It's probably safer for me to not get it because I'll just make the table all gross. Oh, this one's not good. Huh. Maybe it was just like the big giant pumpkin farm pumpkins that I used to get that smelled worse. I don't know. Or were we really just being dramatic?
Well, I'm trying to think if kids have stronger senses of smell or something like that.
Maybe.
I don't remember.
Because I used to like leave the room. I couldn't handle it. I mean, the touching of it is not my favorite part, I'll tell you that.
Once you get committed, you're in.
What? Yeah, exactly. It's just a fun family thing to do. I haven't done it in a lot of years, so it's fun.
Might also be used to the smell by now.
No, it wasn't even that bad when you first cut into the other one. I thought I was gonna be like, ugh. I'm okay. Even you didn't react that much.
Yeah.
I was gonna be like, what? You touched it? You did all that? Because I told her before, I'm like, I don't know if I'm touching it yet.
Somebody's gotta do it.
Yep.
It's not
This one is
me.
a skinny little one. Well, you did a few.
You're doing a good job.
Yeah, you did. You did a good job starting to help. Those are kind of just, those are little tiny ones. Just dump those.
And I don't want TV.
Nope.
We're doing a family fun.
Hanging out.
Chilling like villains.
At 7, we're gonna turn the TV on downstairs.
Yeah, so that we can hear the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. It's one of my favorite things to watch.
Grant, do you think you can get this big box and slide it and put it in the dining room or something so it's out of the way?
What big box?
Big box right here?
The old Sophie Gate.
Yep.
Why are they supposed to not use the Sophie Gate?
It's a little better. Well, I just need to get it out of the way so we can see the TV.
I guess when my parents first got married, my dad used to get pumpkins and just carve them for fun, like for them.
Mm-hmm.
And she hated it. She didn't like she didn't mind the pumpkin carving. She thought that was cool. But she would do the same thing. Like she would leave the room when he would do this part because she couldn't handle looking at like the snotty strings.
Weird.
Go on the floor. Oh no, you got it in the garbage can. We'll just have to see, and like if we have too many of these to fill, like we're only gonna fill one cookie sheet worth, I would assume.
I don't know, we could just put 2 and stagger them and do them at the same time or whatever.
Depends on what we got here. I don't know how many we're gonna have, and I have to see if you have to grease spray it or anything.
Yeah, I don't remember
I'm
off
not sure.
the top of my head how to cook them.
It's been a lot of years since I've done it. If she eats any of it, it's fine. Pumpkin is something they tell you to give dogs when they've got messed up tummies. So if she accidentally ingests something, as long as it's not a seed, which one seed ain't gonna hurt her either,
She turns it into a pumpkin.
Maybe, or she'll grow a belly.
How
of
does this
pumpkin
look?
in her
And then
belly.
I can rinse it out and get those pieces.
Oh yeah, that looks great. Good job.
Alright. Grant, I need your help, bud. Come here.
Can you come get some paper towels for your dad, please?
How many?
Like 3 of them off of that one over there.
You want to split?
A little bit more.
Where your left hand is. There you go.
I know. You want them split or do you want them?
No, all together. So.
All together, because he's got to dry it off, and he needs them together.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, he did kind of what I used to do. Leave the room.
Yeah, well,
It's a
yep.
kid thing. It's hard patience. It's not something that kids can be patient for, unless they like helping and doing it.
Well, we're not carving either, but he's probably, I'm not going to let him do that with a full-size knife.
I can't. I don't even know
It's
if I
all
can.
hard to do anyway, yeah.
I'm not very good at it. I used to try.
Uh-huh.
Here's one.
One done, Mr. Marshmallow Man.
We got him.
Pretty awesome.
Oh, yo.
Dig it.
Cool.
You want to do a sword fight after?
Not really. I'm really tired now. It was a lot of work. Alright, that's it. What do you
Good job,
think?
babe.
Can I have a pencil? What are you trying to do?
Lock the light. How's it look? Pretty good? On the camera?
Huh? A little bit.
Yeah, what if it go like this?
Perfect. Perfecto.
Great idea, bud.
Thanks. I really like marshmallows. Want me to end the video?
Yeah, I got it.
What's he